How come people love to root for the underdog, and as soon as that success is realized, they are watching for the downfall? What is the psychology of this bizarre phenomenon? Put in the comments when you started rocking with TDE. What artists brought you into the fold? Who is your favorite TDE artist? The following incidents are based upon true events and are retold through the best of my recollection. Thank you to everybody listening, your first time or if you've been here before. I'd like to thank you. I am introducing something to this channel. Monday Morning Medicine will include interesting first-hand stories from my perspective. These will be experiences I've actually lived through with people you may or may not have heard of. You have not heard these stories because these are my personal experiences. I did not hear this on a podcast or read an interview and thought it sounded cool. This channel will only engage in uplifting and empowering others, as putting people down is not my MO. There may be people who are doubtful that these stories are true, and that's fine, but I've really got no reason to take a creative license here, as life simply happens. There will be irrefutable facts stated in the story that could not have come from an imaginary source. I was far from the first to ever hear of TDE, but I heard of them before a lot of you did. And that's not bragging, just had my ears to the streets, eyes on the message boards, and knew some people. First time I heard of TDE was from Absol during an AIM chat. If you watched the Night with the Absol video, I believe I mentioned that. J-Rock and K-Dot already had thousands of MySpace plays, so I can't claim I was the first for anything, but I knew about them early. I knew there was something there, and I felt something was different. Look out for my First Time I Met Top Dog video and see how this story truly begins and continues through the other times I've met Top Dog and he never remembers me. Now, since I've been following TDE since before Watts Finest Volume 1 through now, I have a different perspective. Let's talk about when the Kendrick rumors flared up, but were not confirmed, and then they actually were later confirmed. All these YouTubers came with all these TDE deaf of TDE is TDE dead videos for their channels. I watched 2 or 3 and I would keep being suggested thanks to the algorithm. I could not put my finger on it, but it bothered me. Where were all these videos when they were trying to break J-Rock Lift Me Up on the radio? Where were these videos when they tried to break All My Life with will.i.am and Lil Wayne? Most of you making and commenting on these videos probably never even heard Lift Me Up. Where were these videos when Setbacks came out? Where were these videos when OD came out? When Kendrick and Schoolboy Q were nervous about selling products? Where were your TDE Will Never Be Anything videos? Where were you? Can't listen to TDE videos? Were they around? Was it just not as cool to vlog on YouTube? I don't recall these conversations happening online or in person. And I was on the message boards heavy. TDE just works and spreads love, and this is the thanks their fans give: resentment, bitterness, entitlement, anger. At least they care about the music enough to vent their frustration. But none of us had to sit through these meaningless meetings, the ups and downs, being told their artists are not marketable, being signed and dropped and still pushing. A lot of you only know what you know, and that is not as much as you think you do. I get it. You think they should be putting out music every week, like some, and that's the market now, but standing the test of time seems to be way more valuable. Regardless if I like the music or not, I always felt with the TDE project, they actually believed in the music and were not just selling me. That's vital. There are lots of artists and labels who put out music and don't actually believe in it and just want your money. I never got that feeling from them. I'll let you know a little secret. For a while, I was writing reviews of TDE projects and just posting them on dubcnn.com message board. I brought this up to Punch and he said he used to read those. Now, disclaimer, did he read my post on dubcnn, or was he saying that to be favorable? I honestly believe he was, because I offered to write reviews for him and he accepted. That's right. I wrote several reviews of TDE projects and personally emailed Punch. The last one was Kendrick, Good Kid, Mad City. Not sure if he ever shared them with anybody or what. I would ask if he wanted me to break an album down, and he would read a detailed breakdown. I don't remember any TDE Dead conversations on the internet. And I remember the first time Hip Hop DX put up a record with Ab-Soul and the dash was not there, and I was geeked. And I let Herbert know. He didn't even know the record was up. And I told him they did not put the dash, and he said he had to speak with somebody about that and told me look out for more records with them. This was when they were putting out No Sleep Till NY. And a lot of you TDE fans never heard that either. Drop a comment if you rock with that mixtape too. Now TDE is not alone in this drama we yearn for. Let's hope for success and get our snacks for the fall off. What are people's obsession with the fall off? What is the reasoning? Why are rooting for people's failures even acceptable? All this speculation and comparison. How are you giving yourself time to enjoy anything? How many of you remember the game tour he took Nipsey, J-Rock, and Kendrick on? How many of you watched J-Rock and Kendrick live streams? I remember when they played J-Rock West Coast Wu-Tang for the first time. They have a bevy of artists and actually work on artist development for artists you have never heard of. They give opportunities and chances and show so much love to everybody. It's time we appreciate what they have done. And if they continue to do more, just give them more thanks. There's nothing wrong with being held accountable, but all the TDE is dead and TDE is over talk is so weird to me. How many of you know who Bo was? If you can't answer that without having to Google, you didn't really do your TDE history. And you did not live through the come up. And reading something without context is not the same. I love Kendrick music, I love J-Rock music, I love Ab-Soul music, I love Schoolboy Q music, but some of you give the newer artists no chance. I mean, SZA and Isaiah Rashad came to the fold early enough to be accepted. Reason is dope, Rayvon is dope, Sir is dope, Zakari, Lance Skywalker. I see all the comments and posts asking for others to drop music. These people can't even put up a post without seeing it. Give them a chance. TD is not dead. They're signing and looking to break other artists. Lesson from the story that I'll reflect on. People can appreciate and others not so much. Seeing the true rise was insane. From an idea, concept to application through grit and perseverance was pristine. People can succeed with focus and work ethic. Feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe. There are links in the description. If you would like to support this channel via Cashapp, merch, or some selections on electronics, everything is valued and appreciated. Nothing is taken for granted. I got some other interesting stories. I really saw them grinding things out. I mean, I remember interviewing Schoolboy Q was talking about the same 5 people were showing up for shows. You know, I remember when they did the Long Term 2 video, when people were showing up at a Magic Disc in Carson for the listening. All right, I was in Illinois at the time. I wasn't even in California, but I remember watching. And I remember going to Walgreens, grabbing a bag of Craisins, and being able to listen to Ab-Soul. Right? I remember listening to their interviews with Chuck Dizzle when he was in Inglewood. I remember all of this. I remember there was a time before this when they were just in Carson, recording and putting out music and doing shows. And I remember seeing videos on YouTube when I was living in Illinois. It was magnificent and magical because I saw it when people really didn't know who they were. And I told a lot of these stories online and people did not believe me. So I saw them go from the bottom to the top. And I saw people going from who are they to oh, I like some of their stuff, to who's the best Black Hippie member, to oh my goodness, this succeeded, to TD is dead. What else can they do? They're not putting out enough music. Kendrick left. We're panicking. Your job as a fan is not to panic. It's to like or not like the product. Support or don't support. But all the negativity and negative thinking, why are you worried about it? Who puts out music on their label? Is that impacting your life? And if it is, how so? Be thankful for the music that you give, because these artists have to do a lot to give it to you. These labels have to give a lot to give it to you. And TDE actually cares about the fans, regardless of what you believe, based upon their release schedule. Peace and blessings be with you all. Thank you.